Hey, I'm your host, Jen Wheeler, and this is the Healthy Her podcast. I'm a teacher, author, and foodie who went from being addicted to sugar, skipping meals, and struggling to get in control of my eating, to someone who is 10 kilos down, eats all the yummy foods without restriction, and is finally in control of my hunger. I'm obsessed with helping other health-conscious women ditch the confusion and overwhelm so they can cultivate healthy eating habits and truly thrive. The Healthy Her podcast was created to give you real talk about healthy eating, as well as easy, actionable tips that fit seamlessly into your busy lifestyle. I'm not just your host. Think of me as your healthy eating hype gal, your personal cheerleader as we chat all things healthy eating, weight loss, and mindset mastery, so you can become the healthiest, happiest version of you. So if you're ready to ditch the guilt, reclaim your confidence, and unlock the very best version of you, then you're in the right place. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Healthy Her podcast. You might be back at work, you might be back into the swing of things, you might just be thinking about it. And today I want to share with you my healthy, quick weeknight dinners, how I do simple meal planning for 5 days of the working week. Because let's be honest, meal planning and making weeknight dinners can be an absolute chore. And if you're anything like me, I constantly ask myself, why, as a woman, it suddenly became my job to decide what everyone is going to eat for dinner every day until I die. It is actually exhausting. And as I've tried to explain to my own children, it's often not the actual physical cooking of the meal. That's usually the easy part. It's usually calm. It's not usually stressful. It's the planning, it's the food shopping, it's the organizing, it's making sure you've got the ingredients, that you've taken the meat out of the freezer. It's actually all of the things that go into creating that weeknight meal that actually take the most time. It's not the cooking's the easy part. It's all the stuff in the lead up to creating that meal that women find stressful and overwhelming. And I want you to understand that you're not alone, and there is a reason behind why putting together your week of dinners feels so hard. It's because as women, we experience decision fatigue. And when I had this massive realization, it's like everything clicked for me, because at the end of the day, I was exhausted and I'm thinking, can we just get takeaway or I'll just order a pizza? Like, I was so tired and I'm thinking, why is making dinner after work at the end of the day so damn hard? And then I realized it's because as women, we experience decision fatigue. It is because we are juggling so many things. We have a million things on our plate. And from the second that we wake up to the second that we end that day, we make a million tiny, little, small decisions. So by the time we get to the end of the day, our brains are exhausted. We are sick of deciding what needs to be done. What's this for? Who needs that? Something is needed at work. A colleague needs something. The kids need something. Like a family member needs something. We're always making decisions throughout the day. And so when that nighttime comes, we're exhausted. Okay. It's not that we can't make a meal. It's not that we don't know how to make a meal. It's just that our brains are really tired of making decisions all day long, that by the time you get to dinner time, you just don't want to. You just don't want to make another single decision about what to eat for dinner. And that's why often it's nuggets and chips, it's the McDonald's drive-through, it's ordering a pizza. And we tend to lean in towards those quick, fast options because we're tired. So please don't beat yourself up that you don't have a gourmet dinner every single night for your family, because it's just because you experience decision fatigue. And when you understand that, it's almost like it takes that load off a bit. You say, oh, okay, well, it's not me. I'm not a failure. I'm just juggling multiple things and making so many decisions every single day. And that's why I feel so burnt out when it comes to deciding what to make for dinner. The good news is we have a plan. There are some really easy ways that you can start getting back in control of your weeknight dinners, of your family dinners, so that when that time of the day comes and your brain is exhausted, you've made all of those billions of tiny little decisions, it's less pressure on you, it's easier on you. So there is some simple solutions to make weeknight dinners and weeknight dinner planning and prep easier on you so it's not stressful, okay? Because we all know there is nothing worse. It's like, oh, I've just got to get through dinner and, oh, what am I going to make? And I haven't got the ingredients and, oh, we'll just get takeout and we'll just do this. And there are some really simple ways. And like I said, these are all trial and error. Like I've tried lots of different things. I've failed at lots of things, but I found there's some basic staples that have really worked for me as a busy working mum that runs multiple businesses, podcast, all the things that have really helped me to relieve that weeknight dinner stress and to actually put healthy, high protein, low calorie meals on the table for my family every single night. And I'm going to share exactly how I do that with you in today's podcast. And also too, these are meals that your family are going to enjoy and love and want you to make again, because that's the other thing. There's nothing worse than you go and you make this really nice meal for your family and then someone says, I don't want to eat that, or I don't want that tonight, or I didn't feel like that. And you just want to scream and like tear everyone's heads off. So I can definitely relate and I definitely know what that feels like as well. So all of these tips and ideas are going to keep your fussy kids and your fussy family happy, which is always a bonus and one less thing that you have to worry about. Okay, number one, you need to plan them. Sorry, boring, I know, but it actually works. Planning ahead works. Trust me, I've tried the not planning thing, the winging it thing, the just wishing and hoping for the best. It doesn't happen and it always ends up in a takeout or ordering a pizza. You need to plan your meals. You need to plan your 5 days of weeknight dinners of your family meals. Like I said, sorry, I know it's boring. And I know you're probably going, it works. Trust me when I tell you that planning your dinners for the 5 days, I'm not talking about the weekend. Let's not worry about the weekend, because the weekend we've got more time. We can be more flexible. You can go out. You can try a new recipe. You can do whatever you want. I'm talking Monday to Friday that you plan your meals, because planning ahead works. Okay. Now, there are multiple ways that you can do this. You can just set aside a little bit of time on a day that suits you. Again, there is no perfect way of meal planning. We really need to shake this belief and this mindset as women that there's this perfect way of doing things. There is no perfect way of doing things. There is no perfect way of you planning 5 days of dinners. The perfect way is the way that works for you, that fits in with your timetable, with your schedule, where you can fit it in. That is the best type of 5-day meal planning. So you just need to set aside a little bit of time. That's it. That's all you need to do. You can have a beautiful meal planner, like absolutely, like I have my own on the Active Bod shop on my website. I have these beautiful meal plans. It's all set out. It's really easy for you to follow. You can use that, or you can scribble it down on a piece of paper and whack it on the front of your fridge. It can be as simple or as fancy as you want it to be. Okay, but you must plan out your 5 days of dinner. So all that means is on a piece of paper, put MTWTF for the 5 days of the week and jot a thing next to it as to what you are going to have. Okay, 5 days of meals, you have to plan them. Like I said, sorry, but you need to plan them. It works. The reason that I want you to understand too why it works, because when you plan ahead and when you plan for things, the things happen. So if you don't plan your dinners and you just wing it every single night, then you open yourself up to a whole different array of possibilities of things that you might eat for dinner. And if weight loss and healthy eating and feeding your family a good wholesome meal is one of your goals and one of the things that you want to do as a parent, it's not going to happen if you don't pre-plan it. Okay? Planning equals success. And I know that sounds boring, but it's true and it works. So tip number one, you need to plan your meals. Monday to Friday, that's all we're worried about, but plan them. Write them down on a piece of paper and plan them. Number two, I want to share with you, there are 2 main ways that I like to plan our 5 days of dinners. And I like chop and change and I interchange between both. So number one is to start with your protein first. Okay, so it's always easy to build a meal around your protein source. So are you going to have some lean beef mince? Are you having some chicken breast? Are you having fish? Are you having salmon? Are you having steak? What is your source of protein that you're going to use? And then build your meal around that. So, Monday might be chicken and then build your meal around that. Tuesday, you might be having some lean beef mince, build your meal around that. That's one way that I find it really easy, because often when you're just sitting there and you're staring at a blank piece of paper and you've got Monday to Friday written down and you're like, oh, what am I going to make? you need a starting point. So you need something to start with, because when you've got something to start with, it's easier to build from there. So like I said, two of the ways I like to do it. One is focusing on my protein. So I'll decide what protein we're going to have each night of the week, and then I will build the meal from there. It makes it really quick, really easy, and it's a simple way to do it. The other way that I like to do a 5-day of meal planning is to allocate days of the week to a different cuisine. So Monday, Monday might be pasta night. Okay, Tuesday we have like an Asian dish or a noodle dish. Friday we always do like a fake away. So I'll do like burgers or nachos, but I do like a healthier version that I will create. And all of these recipes and everything are in the Healthy Eating Hype Gal membership. I eat what our members eat. I eat exactly the same things. I'm not eating different things to them. I eat the same meals. So Friday is usually a fake away, because let's be honest, at the end of the week, Friday, you just want something quick and easy and really yummy, and like something that's going to satisfy you and make you feel good at the end of a long week. So Friday night's always a fake away night. So like I said, it might be a pasta night. It could be an Asian or a noodle night. You might have a Mexican night. So that's another way to give yourself a starting point to create your 5 days of dinners. Like I said, if you just have a blank page and you've got nothing to start with, you will feel stuck and you will feel overwhelmed, and you'll find yourself scrolling through the rabbit hole of social media and recipe books and thinking, what am I going to have and what am I going to make? So one, either start by using a protein source as your inspiration for your weeknight of dinner, or the other one, like I said, that I like to do is to allocate a different cuisine to each night of the week, and then it makes it easier to build a meal from there. Both of these methods work. I've used both of them. I interchange between both of them. They give you flexibility and can be set up as like a base, and you can mix and match them every week. So you might decide that you could do both. So you could do some nights of the week are cuisine nights. So we've got a pasta night, we've got a Mexican night, and then the other nights you might use a protein source as your starting point for how you're going to put together your family meal. Tip number 3, and this is something that is really not talked about enough when it comes to succeeding with eating healthy consistently for the long term. I'm not just talking for a short term, for a challenge, for a detox or a shred or any of those things. I'm talking something that is not utilized enough as a success tool for long-lasting healthy eating and weight loss, and that is building up a bank of favorite meals. You need to try different recipes. You need to start to build up a bank of quick, healthy go-tos that you can make in minutes. This is so important because when you have those things, they're in your brain already. You know how to make them, pretty much what goes into them, and they are quick and easy. So when you are consistently doing your meal planning, what you will find is you'll start to build up favorites. You'll go, okay, the kids really love that one and it was a staple, so I'm going to keep that as a weekly rotation. Like, you need to start having a bank of favorites. If you're constantly making a new recipe every single week, it's hard, it's confusing, it's a lot of work, and you're not going to stick to it. Whereas if you have a bank of favorite recipes that you can call on that are quick, simple, and easy, you're more likely to make them and stick to your healthy eating than if you're using fancy and complicated and time-consuming recipes and trying different things every single night in order to be healthy. So it's really important that you start to build up a bank of favorite recipes. And like I said, it's a really underrated tool that people don't actually talk about. And people in this healthy eating and especially in the weight loss space think that the key to success is having to make different breakfast every day, different lunch every day, different dinner every day, different it's not. Repeating meals and using and finding and cooking your favorites is an underrated tool of weight loss success. It makes it easier. Okay? That's why we have a new 5-day meal plan every single month in the membership. So to not overwhelm you, you want to be repeating meals. You want to be trying different meals, because when you repeat meals, they're stored in your brain and then you don't actually need a recipe, and then you can just make them quickly when you need to. So really underrated tool, but it is something that you need to do to make meal planning easier, and that's to start to build up a bank of favorites that you can call on at any single time. Tip number 4 of how we're going to plan our 5 days of healthy dinners that are high protein, low calorie. Number 4, don't make all your meal from scratch. You don't have to. Now there are so many quick fixes, shortcuts, hacks and things to make the cooking process easier in the supermarket. Think pre-made salads, pre-cut vegetables, frozen vegetables. And again, another thing in the healthy eating and wellness space, I do not know when frozen vegetables became demonized and that they were a really bad thing. Frozen vegetables are just as good as fresh. Okay. And if that's what you've got in your freezer and if that's what's going to help you put together a healthy meal, use the frozen vegetables. So these things are here to make our life easier. Another one is like pre-marinated meats and chicken and things like that. And also too, the marinades and stuff that you can buy in the jar. Use them, pour them over some chicken and there's your protein and add some vegetables to it. There are ways that you can make your life easier. Again, it doesn't mean using all the hacks and shortcuts in one meal. It might just be that, like I said, you buy the pre-marinated meat and then you add your own vegetables and you air fry some potatoes. Use those tools that are available to you to make it easier to get that weeknight meal on the table, to cut down your cooking time and also to cut down your stress, because when you do that, you're more likely to want to put together a healthy dinner at nighttime, okay? If you're tired, stressed, and overwhelmed, your brain is about to explode with all the decisions that you've made every day and you have to think about dinner, the chances of you putting something healthy together is pretty slim, okay? So you need to plan ahead and you need to start utilizing those hacks and shortcuts and tools that are available to you. Also too, Aldi has some fantastic ones and they're constantly adding to their like fridge section of different like I've bought, I think it was a lemon, I can't think off the top of my head, it was like a lemon and garlic, like it was a marinated chicken. And I literally used that and I made like wraps and we had the chicken, I had some like pita breads and some wraps and we added a heap of salad and that was dinner one night and it literally took me minutes. So it's all about just knowing how to do it, how to use those hacks and to just make life easier for yourself.
The Hype Girl membership is absolutely amazing. I've lost 11.2 kilos while still eating chocolate most days and all the yummy foods. You don't have to give up what you love to be healthy and happy. I absolutely love the Hype Girl community. It's a group of like-minded women who are wanting to be the best versions of themselves, healthy and happy. I feel safe sharing in the space and it helps with accountability. All of the women in there are just beautiful and I highly recommend joining. It's the best thing I've ever done for myself. I've been doing a lot of personal development for the last few years, but it wasn't until I joined the Hype Girl membership that I truly realised that I had been binge eating because I was restricting foods that I loved like chocolate and making myself feel ashamed because I'm overweight. I can't eat that. People will think I'm disgusting. Whereas now I have chocolate in the house almost all the time. My daughter loves it too. And I eat it whenever I want to, but I don't feel like it. Not all that often because I'm so satisfied with the meals that I'm eating from the Hype Girl membership. It's really, food freedom is the best feeling in the world.
Tip number 5, and this is a big one, and it's something that we forget to do, that making that healthy dinner so much easier. Take out what you need the night before. When you are tired at the end of the day, you do not have time to stand at the microwave for 10 minutes and wait for your mince to defrost. You need to take it from the fridge and be able to just cook with it straight away. It sounds like such a simple thing, but again, it's like planning. It works. Simple things done consistently work. So make sure that you take out of the freezer or whatever's frozen and it's out and it's defrosting while you're at work. It will make your nighttime routine and your nighttime dinner organization so much easier because like I said, we need to work smarter. You don't have time to be defrosting the meat. So just take it out and have it ready. So when you come home, you can just cook and go. I also just want to add into like if weight loss is your goal, you need to be mindful of when you're cooking of like the oils and the serving size and the portion size. Often in my experience, it's often that we serve ourselves a lot more food than is actually in like what the recommended serving size is. So when you start to understand nutrition and like the energy in food, it's a lot easier to start to serve yourself up an appropriate portion of food. So if weight loss is your goal, make sure you're thinking about those things. You're thinking about the oils and the butter and those things that you're adding to your food because it's such a simple way to reduce the calories. Same with like swapping like full fat meat full fat mince for extra lean beef mince. You significantly reduce the amount of calories that's in that meal. So don't forget to take advantage again of those like simple swaps that can make a difference to the total calories in your weeknight dinner. Now, I know you're probably like wanting to know, okay, well, what does it look like? What does your week of eats look like? So I just want to give you an example. Now, obviously, my 5 days of weeknight dinners for my family changes all the time, but I'd still always have those sort of like weekly staples. And like I said, I always have that bank of go-tos where I'm like, oh, didn't do anything, didn't organize anything. Let's make that. Like I said, with the Aldi example and the chicken, that's another one. They also make a lot of like tray bakes and things that you can use. And also too, I really want to add to that too. Try and think outside the box. Like if you see something in the supermarket, think of, well, hang on a second, what can I add to that? So if you're looking at something that's pre-made and you're like, oh, there's no veggies in that, add your own or have a salad on the side. Don't just look at meals in the supermarket for what they are. Think, what can I add to that? What's missing? Oh, hang on a second. Oh, it doesn't really look like it's got much chicken in it. Great. I'll buy a packet of pre-cooked chicken and I'll add that in and stir it through. There are so many ways that you can take a basic supermarket meal or like item and upgrade it to make it healthy. But like I said, we often just look at the items as is instead of like thinking, okay, well, what can I actually add to this to make this more of a balanced, nutritious meal? So don't be afraid to add stuff into the meals and the things that you buy, because you can use that as a base and add more stuff in to increase the protein, to increase the veg, to add more salad, whatever you are trying to work on, whatever your goals are. And like I said, just look at the products on the supermarket shelves a little bit differently and see what you can add into them. So back to my example. So like I said, it does change. I use all the Hype Gal recipes. I eat what they eat. So here's just a rough example, okay? So Monday might be some chicken schnitzels, some broccoli, some like green vegetables, and some like air fried potatoes. Like that's it. That might be a simple Monday dinner. Tuesday might be one of our stir fry, like noodle and rice recipes that we have in the membership. 3 might be a pesto chicken pasta or a pasta tray bake. Again, a lot of those in the membership. Another one, Thursday would be taco bowls. These have been super popular in the membership. Think like mince and taco seasoning and lettuce and some corn chips, a little bit of sour cream. And this is the thing I want to stress. When you understand nutrition, you can literally eat whatever you want, because you can take an unhealthy meal and you can turn it into a healthy meal just by adjusting the like ratio of what actually goes into it. So nutrition and knowledge is key to your power. Like, because once you know that, you can, like, I mean, you're probably thinking, oh, but Jen, like, isn't a pesto chicken pasta really bad for you? And it's really high in calories and it's full of cream and it's this. Yes, it has all of those things in it, but we make a lower calorie version. I increase the protein. I reduce the pasta. I use low fat cream. Like, there's all different ways when you understand nutrition that you can put a healthy meal together. And so you can eat delicious, amazing food and not have to feel restricted and just eat boring food, because when you eat boring food, you are boring and you're not excited about what you eat. And you should be excited about what you eat. You should be going, oh, yum, like dinner tonight is taco balls with like corn chips and mince and salad, and it's going to be delicious and I can't wait. It should be exciting. Okay. You should look forward to your meals. If you're not looking forward to what you're eating, something is off and something is wrong and something needs to change. And then, like I said, on a Friday, it's always a fake away. We've done recently a like KFC pepper mayo wrap, like a fake away for that. We've had chicken burgers. Like, there's so many different fake aways that we've done in the membership and they've all been delicious. Like wraps and KFC, we've done burgers. Like, I can't even just think of them all. There's just been so many on our like Friday night fakeaways. We've had avocado chicken and ciabatta pizzas, like so many things. So that's kind of roughly what like a 5 days of dinners would look like for me. So chicken schnitzels, so like an Asian recipe, like a noodles, chicken, pesto chicken, a pasta bake, taco bowls, and then, like I said, the Friday night fakeaway, which would be like burgers or KFC swaps, all of those kind of things. So your week of dinners can be really simple if you organize yourself. And I hope too, from listening to this, that you haven't gone, oh, wow, that's going to take me hours, because it doesn't take me hours every week. Like, planning 5 days of dinners takes like 10 minutes. It's not a long and hard and consuming process. But like I said, planning works. Okay. Planning works. Planning stops you from eating a takeout. Planning helps you make a healthy meal. Planning makes putting that healthy meal together at the end of a long work day easier. So planning your meals works. And like I said, don't overcomplicate it. Don't be doing all fancy things. Stick to the basics. And like I said, I've given you a couple of options that you can try. So you can either do the protein and use that as your base, or you can focus on having a different cuisine every single night. Both of them work. Like I said, I use them interchangeably every single week, and I've been able to put together 5 days of healthy dinners every single week without too much stress. I hope today's podcast episode has given you loads of ways that you can get on top of your 5 days of weeknight dinners as a busy woman, because my goal is always to help you. Like I said, I've failed at multiple things, multiple times. I've tried so many different things, and the things that I share with you on the podcast are the things that I have found that work. They've worked consistently. They've worked with my weight loss. They've worked with keeping it off. They've worked with me showing up for my healthy habits continuously. And so that's why I always want to share them with you and make your life that much easier. Thank you so much for joining me in today's potty episode, and I can't wait to chat with you all in the next one. Thank you so much for tuning in to another empowering episode of the Healthy Her podcast. If you enjoyed today's chat and found it helpful, hitting that follow or subscribe button would be amazing, because your support means the world to me. Come connect with me on Instagram @theactivebod for your daily dose of inspiration and for loads of new easy meal ideas. Take care and keep thriving. See you next week.